Sorry that this is a day late. I had to recover from seeing the film. Not that it was super emotional necessarily. Well, it was that, but that's not why I was tired. I'm doing my 2020 catch up and saw that this movie was playing for one day in a drive-in theater 2.5 hours away from me. So I drove there, watched the movie, and then I drove back and slept for a very long time because traveling takes a lot out of me, and now I'm here. I'm Ryan. I love film, and this is my review of Minari. First of all, I realized in watching my Mank review after the fact that I never really stopped to say what it was, so I'll do that now for this movie. Minari is about a Korean family living in America that is doing their best. The man and head of the house is tired of doing a low worker job, so they move to a rural area so he can start a farm. From there, the film tracks this family as they go about their lives. The film's focus is uprooted somewhat when eventually the grandmother of the family joins them, but even in that addition, the whole movie is still about this family during this time. I'm not sure to what extent the story is true, but it is my understanding that this is a semi-autobiographical work for the writer-director. Minari is really good, and I can absolutely see why it is currently the highest rated narrative film of the year on Letterboxd. There's a lot to love, and then one major problem I have, but I'll start with the several positives. It is a beautiful, raw depiction of the modern American dream and how it functions in relation to an immigrant family. It deals very thoughtfully and respectfully with themes of family struggle, assimilation, and connection. It is meticulously crafted in its exploration of these concepts, and there's often entire new, but fair, sides of characters revealed through only one or two lines. I definitely understand that most people won't get to see this movie till February, so I won't spoil anything, but one non-spoiler example might be there's a line where someone says that a boy has his own room because that's what American boys like, and then later in the film we see him sharing a room. This is a low-stakes example, but a lesser movie could have pointed out this character trait much more explicitly. Little things like this throughout really add to the film, and I'm sure there's plenty that I missed that would make a rewatch rewarding. As a side note, while we're talking about this family stuff, this film heavily reminded me of Ozu. The themes of family, the story structure, the focus on how everything affects children, the dynamic with the grandmother, it all just really feels like Ozu to me. And then there was one shot where some characters were sitting framed by a doorway, framed within a hallway, framed within the actual frame of the movie, and it absolutely just looked like something out of Tokyo Story. And although this is neither here nor there, it's worth noting that if you like Ozu, you'll probably like this a lot as well. I would also be remiss if I were to talk about the family without acknowledging the performances of this film. I only really knew Steven Yeun going into this, but everyone did fantastic. His performance as a struggling man trying to keep his dreams and family together was great. He constantly shows restraint and struggle, even when his character isn't really saying anything about his struggles. He's really quite good, and I hope he gets an actor nod come award season. Han Ye-ri, hope I'm saying that right, hope I'm saying all these right, is really great as his wife. She's louder and more explicitly dissatisfied in a lot of ways, and she really is what brings a lot of dramatic tension to the film. Yeon Yoo-jung's performance as the grandmother is definitely the big standout supporting part. She brings care and heart to the film, and I think is what most people will actually think of when they think of this movie, even if she's only a piece of it. And then the child actor, Alan Kim, is great. Some have argued that he's the main character. I would not, but if I were to guess, he's the stand-in for the writer-director Lee Isaac Chung, so he does feel fleshed out in a way that the others might not. Alright, so that's the several good things. The script works really well to show this immigrant family and uses that to explore what the American dream is and means nowadays, and especially within the context of a foreign family trying to find their way. It explores family relations and struggles in raw, genuine ways and talks about all the love and hurt we can cause each other, and it does so with such heart and care through brilliantly crafted performances. So what's my big problem? I hate the ending. I think the ending is absolutely atrocious. I'm going to be as vague as humanly possible, and I won't talk about what happens, but even talking about an ending is spoiler territory, so proceed at your own risk. The film's confidence and care throughout the film is commendable, so I expected the ending to give a final opinion on its matters, but it really does not. The film ends at a place where I wouldn't even say it's ambiguous, because that word has a connotation of mystery and options. This film just ends where it thinks it can please everyone, and in doing so, I found it extremely destructive to the rest of the movie. I've read other people's reviews thinking I might have just missed something, but all I can find is people either saying they do not like the ending or just not talking about the ending, and I think that's about right. At best, I could see this ending just being something that you don't talk about so it doesn't hurt the film for you, but at worst, you could have my experience, which is just that it left such a horrible taste in my mouth that I can no longer say that I loved the film. I like it still, but so much of the stuff I love, that care and genuine raw look at these topics, is lessened by the ending deciding to not have a final opinion and, to my interpretation, try to please everyone. So yeah, unfortunately, this is definitely not my favorite film of the year, nor even in my top 10. The film was really good, but the impact of everything that I was loving was lessened by the ending, and that was really disappointing to me. I'm giving this a 7 out of 10.